Peace and solitude, a phrase that we hear over and over. We are conditioned to believe that the two are inextricably linked, that without isolation you can't feel peace. But is that really true? In a world that constantly tries to bombard us with noise and distractions, that seeks to polarize us, to pit us against each other, and to make us feel like we are competing with everybody around us, it's easy to see why we might seek peace in solitude. But what if the key to true peace lies not in isolation, but in connection? Have we been looking at this all wrong? Science tells us that connection is not just a social need, it's a biological one. Connection reduces stress, boosts happiness, and even strengthens our immune system. It's in our DNA to thrive together, yet historically we've chosen to ignore this.
On the night of August 12th to 13th, 1961, East German soldiers laid down more than 30 miles of barbed wire barrier through the heart of Berlin.
We have worked with the belief that separation is necessary for order, but time and time again it's only led to conflict and disharmony. Separation breeding fear, distrust, and ultimately violence. So, how do we bridge the gap between the illusion of separation and the reality of our interconnectedness? The answer, I think, lies in understanding the power of human connection. I wondered if I could find the answers that I needed, and that's what led me here to this boat with 7 random strangers. I wondered if it was possible to build real, deep, meaningful connections with people that I didn't already know. Of course, I was going on a physical journey, but this was also going to be an emotional journey. One where I learned to push my own personal limits on relationship building to see if I could build some meaningful connections in such a short space of time. If only I had known what the next couple of days had in store. The highs and lows of living in close quarters, and the novelty of having no cell phone reception and being completely cut off from the outside world. It was a crazy few days, but here is everything I learned. In every encounter, we have a choice. We can focus on the differences or try to find the things we share. Real connection happens when we look beneath the surface and find what unites us. A love of photography. A love of good coffee. Good food. Or good music.
That's all I know.
When we focus on our commonalities, we build bridges instead of walls. We see the humanity in each other, and that's where real connection starts. In a world filled with distractions, being present is more important than ever. How many times have you hung out with someone but just felt a million miles away? We're often physically present, but our attention is just somewhere else. The sheer beauty surrounding the waters of British Columbia was perfect for keeping us grounded in the moment. But real connection happens when we share moments with others, when we put our phones down, look each other in the eyes, and just live for the now. When we're present, we're not just sharing space, we're sharing attention, we're sharing time, and we're sharing energy. And that's what really strengthens our connections. The small moments, the ones where we're truly engaged, are what make relationships meaningful. It's about being with people, not just in the same place, but in the same moment. Welcoming someone isn't just about saying hello. It's about making them feel heard, feel valued, and feel seen. It can be easy to overlook the power of a warm welcome, but when somebody feels excluded, it's more difficult for them to connect, to share, and to feel a part of the moment. A simple gesture, a smile, a nod, or a warm word can turn that feeling of isolation into one of inclusion. It creates a space where people feel like they belong. When our captain John invited us into his home, he was very welcoming. But being welcoming isn't just about manners, it's about creating an environment where people can be themselves, can share their thoughts and can join in the conversation. When we approach others with openness and warmth, we invite connection, we invite trust. We let them know that they're not just tolerated, they're welcomed. When we focus on the collective, we're not just invested in our own success, we're invested in the success of those around us. And then we can start to see how our efforts align and complement each other. The magic happens when we realise that each person's contribution strengthens the group. It's about mutual support, shared goals, and being involved in something bigger than ourselves. When you focus on the collective, you build trust, you build community, you build connection. In a world that tries to separate and divide us, it's our connection that makes us human.